Welcome everyone to round 3, the final round of October 23rd's Star Wars Unlimited Night over at Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana. If you guys are looking for a place to play some Star Wars Unlimited, check out Valkyrie Vault in Brownsburg, Indiana, Thursday nights, 6 p.m., $5 entry. And welcome to the championship round, winner take all. Yes, this is our 2 undefeated decks. Round 2's winner of Vader, Spark Green versus Cal, Force Blue. Yes, who will win that coveted first place? Grand Inquisitor. Not exactly the best card, I will say. I do like what they did for the SOR Championship for set 6. A card that is meta viable, by the way. The Queen Amidala, by the way. The Queen Amidala. So, yeah, if you're looking for your queens, participate in some SOR showdowns or SOR championships and try to get those. Because right now, queens are running like 25 just for their normal arts. Even for their holos, it's kind of crazy. Even the SOR championship ones are going for 20 bucks a pop. Thank goodness I got second place. I got all 3 of mine. I had all 3 of my queens before the SOR championship. I just sold all of my normal queens because now I have all my SOR championship queens. But nonetheless, this is it. Someone's going to walk away with that champion Grand Inquisitor. So, we've seen both of these decks. Round 2, we saw what Vader Spark Green is all about. And folks, we've seen Cal Force Blue multiple times through these locals videos. So, I do not need to tell you how these 2 decks work. Let's just jump right into the game and have some fun. Alright, folks, here we go. Anyways, 𝐂𝐍𝐾 is going to go first here. We're going to see the Yaddle, then we're going to go for the price on your head to allow for us to go for the ramp from the price on our head, which is pretty nice. And then both sides are going to be able to, of course, add resource here as well. So we're going to have to kind of see what we want to do here. Oh, by the way, the Vader and the base are in the wrong position. Anyways, we're going to go for 2 damage from the Yaddle, and then we're going to go for the open fire, immediately killing off the Yaddle. That's going to give us the price on your head to immediately put itself into the resources, which allows us to ramp for 1 additional resource. And then, by the way, they're pointing out the prices on your head should be the top card of your deck goes into the resources, not the card itself. Which, again, I think game 2, they did mess up there. So, anyways, we're then going to go for, of course, the Youngling Padawan gating the Force. And then we're going to go for the Cartel Interceptor. And then that is going to be all that she wrote for this round. So, the Vader is trying to speed here. But, again, 𝐂𝐶 does get to come out for 4. I don't know if that open fire was well worth a Yaddle. I would have held it for the 𝐂𝐶 because Cal is only a 3/4 and flip for 4. Meaning that he has the... Meaning that he can die instantaneously here on 1 shot. Which, again, I don't mind because, again, he's so squishy on his backside. And a lot of people don't like he's squishy on his backside. But, again, if he isn't, he's a nuisance to deal with because of the fact that, you know, you could burn the full on attack. Your opponent has to rest 1 of your guys. So if you have don't have enough guys and only 1 guy standing, and all that. So, anyways, both players are just kind of talking about who actually had the initiative there. So you really have to play this very strangely because of the fact of the 𝐂𝐶 here, because you could easily just go for a soft pass, see if your opponent will force out the 𝐂𝐶, and knowing that they're just going to die. This is why I think in some aspect to play 𝐂𝐶 against 𝐂𝐶, you have to have bodies up in your board space so that you can force the 𝐂𝐶 player to potentially bring out 𝐂𝐶, and then you nuke 𝐂𝐶 off the board there before anything happens. So I think the Vader player is still deciding on what they want to actually do for their resource for the turn. They could technically pass the resource. They are 1 above. So they're just going to go, oh, no, they're choosing on what they want to do. So we're going to go for a good old just resupply here. We're going to go for the damage from the Youngling Padawan. And then we're going to, unfortunately, I don't think the Vader's going to be able to do anything this turn. Because, again, they burnt through most. I think they're going to have 1 open resource. Which, I guess they could put down that TIE Fighter. A good old TIE Fighter never hurt anybody. It can die to a Cartel Interceptor, though. Anyways, 2 more damage onto the base as well. And then we're going to go for the Vader effect to ping 1 damage onto the Cartel and then ping 1 damage onto the base. We finally figured just the rotation of where our leader should be. By the way, we have the 2 more showcase leaders for you all, 𝐂𝐶 showcase and the Vader showcase. Oh, I love when I can show off showcase. Oh, no, it's going to be the Forces with me. I'm 1 with the Force. And that's going to be to allow to give a +2 experience and a shield to a unit. If it's a Force unit, immediately get to attack with that unit. Ooh, that 𝐂𝐶 is now even worse. That's one problem why you need to make sure when 𝐂𝐶 flips, you have a way to kill him off the board before such things. We've seen this player, what they do with this, the Force is with me. I'm 1 with the Force. I wish it said that all of that, but technically it's just the Force with me. Anyways, we're going to go for the snapshot. Immediately be able to go right through the shield, removing it, and then dealing the 3 damage to 𝐂𝐶. Unfortunately, Cal is still alive onto Yeah, 2 health points left because he's now at 6. Anyways, we're going to then swing a whole bunch of damage off of the 𝐂𝐏 there for 5, and we're going to rest out the TIE Fighter because, again, on Cal's swing, you could technically bring out the Vader here and technically kill it. Not kill the Cal, because unfortunately, you'd have to throw another body. So anyways, we're just going to go for the open fire there. Sucks that you couldn't get that when the 𝐂𝐏 is flipped. Anyways, we're going to go for the Hotshot Blasters. Yeah, I know people aren't ready for that card to get out of the format. Hotshot Blastering the Youngling Padawan to deal 4 damage to the opponent's base. Doesn't look good for the Vader. They've only dealt a single damage point to our opponent's base. Anyway, they're going to go pay for 1, and we're going to put out BD1 to give a +1 to the Cartel Interceptor. And then, remember, as long as and the BD1 does have hidden, as long as the BD1 is up on the board, it does protect that Cartel Interceptor. I believe the Vader, I forget what Vader's actual text is on his, if he can just do 2 damage to anything on the board, if he has to be 2 damage on the ground. But anyways, we're going to just kill off, and I thought so. I thought it was anything on the board state. So anyways, we're going to kill off the Unlean Padawans. We're going to put on our Cartel Interceptor. Technically, we should have drawn 1 card for the Cartel Interceptor kill there. So it looks like the Vader player is coming back, but again, they're already down 20 health points on their base. They only have 10 left on that 30 health base. 𝐂𝐏 still has things they could do, like we've seen all that. So anyways, we're going to go for another kill off with the OB, and again, that's just going to kill everything. They should technically get the draw 1. They are missing that free draw 1 from the Cartel Interceptor. We're going to swing 7 damage at our opponent's base. Ooh, coming back from the OB. Anyways, then 2 damage onto the Yaddle due to the Vader effect there. We're going to claim from the Cal side, and we're 2 more damage from the TIE Fighter. Ooh. Who knows? I would have thought it was going to go 100% to the good old Vader side here with that, but who knows? Maybe it's not. Maybe Vader somehow actually got it off. But again, they did miss 2 free draws there, by the way, without the Cartel Interceptors, which does kind of suck when you miss 2 free draws. I mean, that's 2 free cards that you could have gotten at the top of your deck that you could have then cycled through. In my opinion, you got to cycle through cards. You got to draw them, folks. You got to draw those cards. So the problem is there isn't much else our 𝐂𝐏's player could do. It looks like they may have a Plo Koon, a Constructed Lightsaber, or no, I think that, yeah, they have a Plo Koon, Constructed Lightsaber, and a BD1. None of that really is going to be all that helpful in this state because the Yaddle technically will die to the Vader swing because of the 2 damage. So anyways, we're going to do 2. We're going to be able to heal 1 off of that as well. So anyways, then we're going to go for the Vader to swing under the base and then kill off the Yaddle there. Yeah, there's not really a point of putting the Constructed Lightsaber on there. I guess he could have. It would have been a little interesting to put the Constructed Lightsaber, but if your opponent had any way to kill off the Yaddle, then that wasn't going to be anything helpful. Anyways, I think our opponents forgot the ambush off of that Plo Koon. Plo Koon does get to ambush if they wanted to. It doesn't matter. I think, honestly, you shouldn't even ambush really into the Vader. BD1 to give it a +1, and then basically putting out the Dark Trooper now. And then they're going to go for the good old, so 2 damage to the base, and then, I would have put it on the BD1, in my personal opinion. I would have knocked out the BD1 there as we go for the Rufus Raider in the sky. And that's my opinion. I would have done it on the BD1, and then you could, well, I guess not really in this point, because, yeah, I guess if you'd done the BD1, then you could have swung Vader and killed over things. But yeah, I'm not sure why the Plo Koon did not go for the ambush there. Plo Koon would have survived on 1 health point on the Vader swing there and dealt another 3 damage, which would have put it to 7, leaving it only with 1 health point left. Yeah, it sucks because of the Dark Troopers there, but I guess the reason why you don't want to swing it is if you can get a 3rd body on the board, you do have the ability to get that Coordinate Raid 3 on the attack, which would have killed Vader in 1 swing, and you survive on 1 health point. Technically, right now, the Plo Koon can kill the Vader because it does have that extra +1 from BD1, but unfortunately, it's not going to help much when there's a Dark Trooper facing you down in the face that you have to go through first, meaning you put it into rest mode and Vader just swings over the base and then deals 2 damage to the Plo Koon, killing it off. So there's not really much you could do. Not mentioning space is now getting out of hand with that Typer and that Rufus Raider now both in the sky here. So 𝐂𝐏 is up it right now, a little bit up a creek. Any hope. So anyways, we're going to go for the Constructed Lightsaber. That is going to give us the heal 2 when Plo Koon swings. I'm mentioning that does give us an extra +3 health as well. So we're at 9, plus then we're going to have an extra couple. And we're going to go for the OB. Not going to matter. That's just going to immediately murk the Plo Koon. And it looks like we're just going to have an immediate scoop up there from the 𝐂𝐏's player, meaning that Vader Spark Green took game number 1. Ooh, we have a good one, folks. We have a good one. But we've seen this 𝐂𝐏's player before drop a game, but then get back in the game with games 2 and 3, using those Hotshot Blasters and Surprise Strikes to win it out. So, moving on to game number 2. Welcome, folks, to game number 2. Let's see what happened. Our players have also finished up their siding, or they wanted to side for this event. Anyways, we're going to start off with a good old yaddle. Nothing like a good old yaddle to start off the days. Anyways, we're going to go for a price on your head to immediately be able to start the ramping here. And maybe going to pass on that one. Ooh, an Emperor and a Vader pilot. The Vader pilot would be nice if we had seen some put into the sky with it. But we're also looking for open fires. That is one very important card we do need to see once the turn 𝐂𝐍𝐶 flips over. Which again then begs the problem. If you don't have bodies that you can then use to bait the 𝐂𝐶 into flipping to allow you to do it, if you're just soft passing, your opponent's knowing that they're going to do. So anyways, we can go for a Spark Rebellion, as immediately be able to see the hand there. Unfortunately, we're not going to see anything from that hand. Well, at least we'll know what gets murked out. Looks like, ooh, okay, so we do get the one card that allows it to go through the shields and deal 3 damage to a unit. That is pretty nice there. We're going to go for 2 to play out. 1 to play out a First Order Stormtrooper, then we immediately be able to swing 2 damage on the base and then take the Force. The Force is with us today, folks. The Force is with us. Anyways, we're going to go through the Vader effect, dealing 1 damage to the yaddle and dealing 1 damage to the base. And then we're going to draw our card here. Not exactly sure what they want to do here. Interesting, they, okay, so yeah, they still had 1 active resource. I didn't know if they had a TIE Fighter in the hand last turn. If they did, they could have played out the TIE Fighter, then had the Vader pilot active as well. 2 more damage, I'll immediately heal off the 1 damage we dealt to the base. We're going to deal 2 damage to the yaddle there, and then immediately kill it off, but then we had to take 1, the 2 damage, the 2 indirect damage, 1 on the attack, 1 on the death. There, which I think our red and yellow player missed. Another Spark, oh man. That does suck because, again, we're going to lose out the other First Order Stormtrooper, which would have been really nice to have played there. I would have kept, yeah, I mean, the Ruthless Raider is nice, and so is the Vader pod, but it isn't going to do anything. Right now, 𝐂𝐶 is in full swing, everybody. So anyways, to go for Youngling Padawan, not really needing to get the Force here because the yaddle hasn't died yet, and we're just going to get the, going to flip 𝐂𝐶 and dealing 3 damage to the base here. It looks like, and again, once again, yaddle's effect, secondary effect is, on the attack, you can give Restore 1 to all other Jedi on your board, which means 𝐂𝐶 now has Restore 1. Unfortunately, it looks like the Vader player is now getting outpaced here. So anyways, again, swinging 2 damage onto the base here is going to give Restore to the good old Youngling Padawan there because of off-its effect, which is pretty nice. Anyways, we're going to use the Vader effect to knock out the yaddle, then be able to ramp. Oh, that did suck. Oh, I saw that. That was a Force choke getting lost at the top of the deck. Oh, sucks. That would have been really great to just kill off the 𝐂𝐶 here immediately. So anyways, the Cow's going to swing for another 3 damage here, and then we're going to swing in for another 2. It looks like the Vader player just simply claimed the initiative there. There comes the Plo Koon. Plo Koon over the Force Order Stormtrooper taking 2 back and then 1 indirect damage on the base. But yeah, I think 𝐂𝐶, folks, is claiming this one fast and quick. Even if Vader does come out, I don't know what Vader can really do. I guess Vader can go and swing over 𝐂𝐶, kill 𝐂𝐶, and do 2 damage to something on the board state. But as long as there's a third body, that Plo Koon is also completely dangerous to the Vader. So the Plo Koon can sacrifice itself in the Vader. Right now, Plo Koon's even dangerous on the board state. It's swinging for 6 damage. Anyways, Ruthless Raider to come on down. I'm not sure what we're going to ping because of it. Anyways, 2 damage to the base and then 2 damage to something else. I would say let's just get on the Plo Koon right now. Let's put it on the Plo Koon because that means that you could then swing the Vader over 𝐂𝐶. You'd have to wait for 𝐂𝐶 though to swing for the turn because of its effect. But anyways, yeah, the Plo Koon's going to immediately swing. There's no reason not to swing that 6 damage into your opponent here. That is the one problem. So anyways, we're going to go for Vader to ping 1 damage onto the base and then ping 1 damage wherever they want to go. The problem is, again, you can't really flip the Vader until 𝐂𝐶 is swung. So that's the problem. You'd have to continue soft passing, but if your opponent knows that, they're just simply just going to claim the initiative. They'll claim initiative, and then that forces a double pass standard. Or they could just simply just pass again. That then forces a double pass standard. So, very interesting. We're going to go for BD1 to get a +1 to the 𝐂𝐶. Hey, look, 𝐂𝐶 is being powered up by his droid! Anyways, then we're going to go for the Secret of Sage, and then we're going to swing 6 damage at the base. Yeah, there's nothing we can do. Yeah, the Vader has taken the initiative, and we did finally get a Force choke, but this is a little out of hand. That Plo Koon is just absolutely deadly right now because there's no way to kill it off. There's just too many bodies now on the board state. Even if you do a Force choke to, say, kill the Plo Koon off the board, there's not much else you can do. It just came too late. I guess you could go OB, which is probably what they're doing. Yep, we are going to go for OB. OB is going to be able to do the last remaining damage to kill the Plo Koon, and then we're going to be able to do then the necessary 4 damage to kill 𝐂𝐶. So that should be everything. No, that was Plo Koon had 2 left, then 4. So Well, okay, so they had one more extra damage there. Or Cal had already had one on him. Anyways, I'm just going to knock off the shield off the Secret Sage, 2 damage. There's not much you can do. There's no way to kill both those bodies off. So anyways, we're just, oh, okay, so yeah, no. Why are we doing, yeah, about to say the Force Choke needs to go on to the Youngling Padawan there, and then it won't really matter because then we're just going to lightsaber up BD1, and then we're going to be able to win the game from there. Meaning that, folks, we have that all-important game number 3. Folks, the all-important game number 3 to decide who will be the champion of this SOR showdown. Cal Force Blue or Vader Spark Green. Let's see who does it. As both players have finished up their siding, here we go for all that. They're just finishing up their resourcing for the turn. Vader is going to start here. Oh, we're going to start off with a Stormtrooper. And the Yaddle, the Cal player started all 3 games with Yaddle. Talk about that for being anything. And we're not going to decide to go for the Vader effect, I guess, because we do really want to try to maybe keep the initiative there so the Yaddle doesn't swing in on us and maybe gave the Force to the, I guess I could see that. You don't really want to give like the Force to the player that really wants to use the Force and Cal Kestis, or give them any ability to use the Force like that. So anyways, we're going to go for the Snowtrooper Lieutenant is going to be able to give a +2 to that Stormtrooper being able to knock it out. And we're going to go for Spark Rebellion. We're going to look at the hand, and we're going to get rid of, Super Laser Attack. Ugh. Sucks that had to get hit out. That's a really good card to start the ramp, and we're going to go for a Cartel Interceptor. So far, we're choked out the Force right now on Cal Kestis, but that really doesn't matter when Cal can come out for 4 and immediately be able to, this turn, gain the Force. It's interesting that they're on a Force Blue base where really isn't much like Force activity they do with it, but other than like Cal Kestis' ability. So anyways, we're going to trade a couple of 2s into each other here with the Cartel and the Snow and the Fleet Lieutenant and the Snowtrooper Lieutenant, and then we're going to go bring down another Cartel Interceptor. We're going to be able to go for a Vader effect because we played a guy with a ability tag, and we're going to go flip the Cal Kestis here. And then as long as we have at least a Hotshot Blaster in there, we can, oh no, we're going to go for a Lightsaber, Jedi Lightsaber, to get that a -2 to the attack. Because again, on attack, as long as you're attached to a Force unit, you give -2 to the person you are attacking, which is really good there. Cal Kestis survives, everybody. Cal Kestis survives on taking 1 damage from a Dark Trooper. Yeah, no, that Cal Kestis is quite annoying when it can get out going off. But I love it. I really like what Cal Kestis, what this player with Cal Kestis have done. They rule through our locals with that Cal Kestis 100%. Right now, that player is on Voss Red, by the way. They moved over the Voss Red, but they still have their Cal Kestis. They also have the Voss Showcase as well, which is pretty cool. I really like the Voss Showcase. It's a really, really cool one. Anyways, we're going to figure out what the Vader player wants to do here. They are now getting outnumbered and outswarmed, just like game number 2, and I feel that's where this Cal deck really gets going, is if it can get the swarm going, it is lethal. So I'm going to have to figure out what we want to do. They look like they're going to go for a possible smuggle. We did see a Hotshot Blaster, folks. There is a potential for a Hotshot Blaster in game. Anyways, Cal Kestis is going to swing in. We're going to be able to go for a price on your head on something, I would guess. I'm not exactly sure. So we're going to go for the Cartel Interceptor, Cartel Turncoat, and immediately take 2 damage from the Cartel Turncoat, putting ourselves up to 10 here. Well, I'm not exactly sure how we kill that Cartel yet. And then we're going to go for the 12 here, and then we're going to immediately be able to do Plo Koon to kill off the Fleet Lieutenant, the Snowtrooper Lieutenant. And yeah, it looks like, folks, it's going the way of game number 1, which is what we see a lot for this Cal Kestis player, that a lot of times they will lose 1 game and then somehow come back the next 2 games. But I don't know, maybe it's the luck of the draw, maybe it's just Cal Kestis being really good, or maybe it's just color combination just being super good, or that Plo Koon being nasty if you can get the bodies to stick. Again, the Plo Koon's only nasty if you can get the bodies to stick. That is it. If you don't get the bodies, this Plo Koon's pretty much dead on arrival. But still, really good card. Love Plo Koon. It's just a 6 damage while it has the Coordinate. Well, I think Coordinate was a really strange and kind of dumb mechanic for, from Twilight of the Republic that was very rarely used. But anyways, it's not going to matter. We're going to go for the Open Fire to immediately kill off the Plo Koon there, because it did have 2 damage markers, which is really good. You just don't want to take that 6 damage points to the face. So anyways, Cartel Interceptor to do 2 damage to the base. We're going to go put on another Dark Trooper, which unfortunately will only be able to do 1 damage to Cal Kestis because he still has a lightsaber on him. Another Cartel Turncoat to deal 2 more damage to the base here. We're going to have to figure out what we want to do against this. We did see a Vanestra Rao in the hand. Yep, there is Vanestra Rao. So we're going to be able to melee restand it, swing, kill over the Dark Trooper, and then be able to deal with that, gain back the force. We do know they have the Hotshot Blaster. Hotshot Blaster under the Cow Estes to melee allow it to attack. That's going to deal a whole bunch of damage. Up to 24. There is no way the Vader player can survive. The 𝐂𝐏 is game. That is pretty much it. Unless the Vader player has a way to kill the 𝐂𝐏 here, that is game. As we see the fist bump for the game, meaning Cal Force Blue walks away as the champion of this Star Showdown. I did pull it up on Melee, folks. I just wanted to say, I had 5th. I got tiebreakered out of the top 4 of this event and got 5th because of my tiebreaker. It really does suck when that is how it comes down to the end, folks, that I came in 5th, 1 spot from 4th because of a tie with Bulba JTL Yellow while I was playing good old well, now I can't even remember my leader. 𝐼𝐀𝐈𝐒. There we go, 𝐼𝐀𝐈𝐒. But nonetheless, I like both these decks. They're real fun. We've seen enough of Cal Force Blue on this channel, guys. It's always a really strong deck. I think it can still be even strong in this meta. I know this meta is very different now, because if you look at like what's winning in the top decks, be careful, folks. That Han Spark of Green is running rampant right now. It's crazy out there. I still think 𝐂𝐏, if it goes right, it goes right. It will spam bodies, and unless your opponent has a way to respond to it, it just wins. It's just really cool. Really like it. Really, really fun deck. And then again, I still like this Vader. Like I said, it really does suck we're losing him because we're getting store brand Vader from Battle of Hoth, which isn't great. But yeah, I mean, he isn't good. But at least it's store brand Vader. At least it's Vader we got at home. But yeah, nonetheless, it's still an okay Vader. It's still an okay one. But yeah, it's still a cool deck. I mean, if the Vader deck goes right and gets the correct ramp going, the Vader can flip early. It can do devastating amounts of damage. It has the OBs. It has a lot of really devastating stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, you just ran into a deck that's a lot faster, a lot quicker, and can just punch a lot harder. But nonetheless, guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments on both of these leaders, on both of these decks. If you tried out the leaders before, let me know your thoughts on the gameplay. Let me know if I missed anything in the gameplay. And while you're commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you know if my videos go live for you. And we'll see you next time. I'm On Dragons TCG.